In the eerie forests of Western Ireland, a man is seen sprinting through the shadows, clearly terrified. As he runs, he repeatedly encounters signs labeled "Point of No Return," each bearing different numbers, possibly marking distance or direction. Despite the warnings, he can't escape. Darkness soon swallows the woods, birds fly overhead, and suddenly he falls into a pit. An invisible force then grabs him and drags him away. Elsewhere, a woman named Mina, an artist who works in a pet store, is asked by her boss to deliver a rare parrot to a nearby zoo. She agrees and takes the parrot home for the night. Talking to the bird, she reveals that her mother passed away 15 years ago. Shockingly, the parrot responds. Later that night, Mina dons a wig and goes to a bar, introducing herself with a fake name and claiming to be a ballerina. The next morning, she apologizes to the parrot, admitting that she often hides her real self out of fear of rejection. She then sets off on the journey. While driving, she receives a call from her sister Lucy, reminding her of her loving family and nieces. Mina continues onward, but eventually enters a dense forest where her car suddenly breaks down and the signal cuts off. Taking the parrot's cage, she steps into the dark, deserted road in search of help. When she returns, her car is gone, and the area feels ominously empty. To stay sane, she talks to the parrot, whom she names Darwin, while wandering through the increasingly dark forest. Suddenly, she sees a woman sprinting past and decides to follow her. The woman leads Mina to a small cabin and urgently tells her to come inside if she wants to survive. Mina rushes in. The elderly woman, Madeline, lives there with two younger people, Ciara and Daniel. Madeline makes Mina stand in front of a mirror, explaining that the Watchers, strange entities, cannot enter but can observe from the outside. Every night they appear after sunset. Standing by the mirror, Mina hears clapping. Madeline confirms it's the Watchers applauding the arrival of a new person. The next morning, Mina wants to leave, but the others warn her it's impossible. Madeline explains that the forest causes hallucinations, and that survival depends on staying within marked boundaries before dark. These signs were placed by someone known only as the Professor, whose fate is now unknown. That night, Daniel puts on a show for the Watchers, showcasing Mina. Ciara dances to music like she does every evening. Mina, meanwhile, finds discs of old dating shows. The next day, Mina and Ciara gather herbs. Ciara shares that her husband went missing while trying to escape, and that she's been in the cabin for nearly 5 months. She believes the Watchers hide in strange forest burrows during the day. Madeline lays down strict rules. Never leave at night, never open the door, and always stay in the light. Days begin to blend. Mina watches the same shows and stares into the mirror. One day, after knocking on the mirror, someone knocks on the door. Madeline tells everyone to freeze, and the knocking stops. Later, Mina and Daniel go hunting. He shares that Madeline used to teach at a university and has been in the cabin the longest. Daniel has been there 8 months and has never seen the Watchers up close. Mina persuades him to explore one of the burrows. Using a rope, she descends and finds old belongings: newspapers, toys, electronics, and a bicycle. As she tries to send the bike up, terrifying noises echo from the darkness. She escapes just in time. Back at the cabin, they believe the bike might offer a way out. Daniel assembles a surveillance system from the scrap electronics. One night, there's a knock and someone claiming to be Ciara's missing husband, John, speaks. Ciara tests him with a question about her current book, but he can't answer correctly. He pleads for help, but is suddenly dragged away by an unseen force. Afterward, there's intense knocking on the mirror until Madeline stands before it, and the noise stops. In the morning, Madeline angrily throws the bicycle into the burrow, insisting they stop breaking rules. Mina later remembers a childhood incident. She ignored her mother's plea to close the car window, which led to a crash and her mother's death. She's carried guilt ever since. As winter sets in, food becomes scarce, tensions rise, and one day Ciara leaves. Mina finds her, and Ciara confesses she believes John is still alive. They return to the cabin after hearing Daniel scream, angry with Madeline. Ciara follows Daniel back to the cabin. When Mina and Madeline arrive, the door is locked. Daniel has shut them out. They hide and witness horrifying spider-like creatures. The Watchers approach the cabin, peering through windows and screeching. Once the creatures leave, the women plead to be let in. Mina tells Daniel about her guilt and convinces him that the burden of not helping others will haunt him too. He relents, and they all stand before the mirror. Madeline reveals that she was once a professor of mythology and came to the forest willingly. She once saw a version of herself at sunset, a clear sign of danger. She explains the Watchers are ancient beings, fairies, changelings, winged ones, who study and mimic humans. They won't let anyone leave. Daniel finds a hidden hatch in the floor, leading to a well-stocked underground bunker. Mina activates an old computer, which plays a video of Professor Rory Kilmartin, the original explorer. In 1979, he discovered this place, what he called Wonderland. Every night, the Watchers came to observe him. His peers mocked him, so he secretly built the bunker with the help of outcasts from nearby villages. One day, a red-haired Watcher appeared, unlike the others. He captured her, hoping to communicate and learn their secrets. Though she often changed form, she eventually became attached to him. But in the end, he realized he had achieved little. He left a boat by the river, the only escape route, urging others to follow the birds and go to his office at the university. Then destroyed all of his research. As their final night arrives, Ciara invites Daniel to dance. He's hesitant about leaving, saying he has nowhere to go. She reassures him, offering him shelter and friendship. The next day they set off, guided by the signs and Darwin the parrot. Eventually they reach a stone disc covering a tunnel. Madeline explains it's the prison of the last of the ancient fairies, once friendly to humans, now filled with hatred and held back only by ancient magic. They journey until night falls, still unable to find the river, until they spot birds flying and follow them. They find the boat, but as Daniel hears someone calling, he sees John and rushes to him. It's a trap. The changeling kills Daniel and takes his form. The others escape down the river. The next day, they awaken in civilization. Mina visits Kilmartin's university, posing as his niece to access his office. There, she finds files about half-human, half-fairy children. Shocked by a particular photo, she visits Ciara, showing her an image of Madeline, who was Kilmartin's deceased wife. This means the Madeline they lived with was the captured fairy, able to move during daylight. She had taken Madeline's form to re-enter the world. Just then, a car arrives. Ciara's real self emerges. The one Mina had spoken to is a changeling. Realizing she's exposed, the fairy knocks Ciara unconscious and shifts into Daniel. She says they only want to live peacefully, but human fear forces them underground. She then turns into Kilmartin and finally into Mina, preparing to kill her. But Mina pleads, saying she too is part fairy and that exiling them was wrong. Touched, the fairy shows her wings and flies away. Mina later revives Ciara and reunites with her twin sister Lucy, finally forgiving herself for her mother's death. She shares her story, admitting she still sees Madeline's image in strangers. Her niece shows her a drawing of Mina with Darwin. Now her pet, outside, a young girl watches their apartment and morphs into a girl with a strange face. Thank you for watching until the end of this video. I hope you like it and subscribe. See you in the next one.